Hey, this is Jimmy Murphy here with your CLNS Garden Report on Ice, brought to you by SeatGeek. Remember, go to your mobile app, not your flip phone, your mobile app, okay, and type in the promo code CLNS and get $20 off your first purchase there. The Boston Bruins, they come back from the All-Star break a bit flat and maybe not quite as prepared for the type of hockey they're likely going to see for the majority of the rest of the season here because, you know, you don't think of February as the stretch run. Now, usually you think of more late February, early March, and then into April and into the playoffs. But year in and year out, it's starting earlier and earlier, and the Bruins got a taste of that heavy hockey from the West right off the bat here with games against the Anaheim Ducks and then the St. Louis Blues on Thursday. They lose 3-1 to the Ducks on Tuesday, but they rebound nicely and adapt to that heavy hockey on Thursday, winning 3-1 over the St. Louis Blues. And Bruce Cassidy talked about that adaptation after the game.
Yes, you talk to your group as, listen, the hard guys got to be hard all night, and the skill guys got to, or the skaters got to skate, but then you got to blend it when necessary. So I think the message over the years down there was, yeah, you can skate, and that's the strength of your game, but you're going to have to be comfortable playing against men, bigger men, and find a way to use body position. We're not going to ask a kid that is not a physical guy by nature to go start running around and belting guys, but you are going to have to use your body appropriately when need be, on the wall, in the slot, winning pucks. And then the heavier guys are going to have to learn to make a good first pass in these type of games so that we're not always pinned.
So, as Cassidy's saying there, like, his team is doing a great job throughout the year, not just in these last two games of sort of looking at the game in front of them, looking at the game they're in. They're always looking for ways to improve. And what's been even more impressive, as we talked to Patrice Bergeron after the game, has been the way that the youth on this team have looked for ways to improve and the way they have put in that effort, that extra effort, whether it be watching video, whether it be coming to practice and talking with the veterans, saying, you know what, I think we can do this better, I think we could do that a little less. They've been great at doing that, and Bergeron spoke about that after the game Thursday.
Everyone's been kind of, you don't have to tell the young guys twice, what needs to be better, what needs to be done, and it's a perfect example. After the last game, we went to practice on Wednesday, and we talked about a few things, and right away, the guys were doing it and showing up tonight and having a strong start and being assertive and making plays. And I think it shows the character that these guys have.
Here they go. They had two games against two heavy teams, and they did a great job adapting to that. But now all of a sudden you got the Toronto Maple Leafs, their division rival, in a big division game, big playoff race game on Saturday night at TD Garden here coming in. But, oh, wait, that's a finesse speed team. So now they got to go back to that type of game. But I think what the Bruins do best right now is they're blending that. And I said it before, I think it was my last Garden Report I did after the Montreal game here in Boston, was that they're doing a good job of sort of blending in that old school Claude Julien philosophy or style that maybe, you hate at times because it's not the most exciting thing to watch, but they also blend in that attack style of Bruce Cassidy and that, let's get in there, let's go to the net, let's not just dump it in, let's go to... They're really putting that all together as one, and that's been their strong point. Another thing that's been their strong point this season has been the depth they have, and specifically on the back end. Charlie McAvoy goes down recently. That draws Adam McQuaid back into the lineup. He's been great. And then on Thursday against the Blues, Kevin Miller went down in the game. Adam McQuaid's minutes go up a little more. And he spoke about that defensive depth that's going to be so crucial down the stretch run for the Bruins.
Every team goes through that test of depth, and I think you can't have enough guys, especially I think on defense. And,
what you guys learned in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, exactly. So you just hope you get your opportunities and make the most of them.
So as we go on here in the next month, the February 26th trade deadline is fast approaching. That's a name you might hear, Adam McQuaid. I'm already hearing amongst scouts. They're looking at him. But I don't see the Bruins trading a him or a Kevin Miller or Torrey Krug. I just don't see it happening. I think for the main reason they learned the lesson the hard way that you need as much depth as you can. They don't take the Ottawa Senators to 6 games if they don't have the defensive depth that they had and the performance they got from Tuukka Rask last year. They're going to need those D-men as we go down. Injuries like we saw to Miller are going to happen. freak stuff like we've seen to Charlie McAvoy could happen. Who knows? You need as much depth as you can on the blue line. That's going to be crucial, especially in the playoffs. So that's not something I see Don Sweeney do unless it was a hockey trade, a defenseman for a defenseman, or if he wants some depth up front, maybe he adds a third or fourth liner. At this point, I don't see a big move coming, but that could change, and I'll be digging for you. So stay tuned on our Bruins coverage, whether it be on Bruins Beat, whether it be here on the Garden Report on Ice, or anywhere in CLNS Media for Bruins coverage. We'll have you covered as the trade deadline approaches and as the stretch run keeps going here. I'm Jimmy Murphy from TD Garden for CLNS Media and the Garden Report on Ice. We'll talk to you next time.